Now to a growing and, for me, worrisome trend in our politics, the rise of borderline, if not fully violent rhetoric, and no one in a position to do so tamping it down. We got a preview during the Tea Party rallies in 2009. While questioning the president's religion and place of birth, we also saw veiled threats like signs that said, hey, we came without our guns this time. That was followed quickly by scenes like this one, an anti-Obama protester at an Obama rally in Arizona carrying a loaded assault rifle and handgun, and oh, by the way, it was all perfectly legal. Well, flash forward to today, we're now seeing threats that are less veiled. In the next clip, a Tea Partier is speaking against Democratic Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill. Listen to what he says and note the reaction of the man in the middle of the screen. He is the son of McCaskill's Senate opponent.
But we have to get Claire McCaskill out. We have to kill the Claire Bear, ladies and gentlemen.
Kill the Claire Bear, and the son applauds. But instead of taking the speaker to task or condemning the quote, this was the reaction from McCaskill opponent Sarah Steelman. Quote, I may disagree with the words Mr. Boston chose in his statement, but I understand his frustration and I emphatically support his right to express his views. To Virginia, where the Greene County GOP's monthly newsletter contained this gem from the editor, quote, we shall not have any course, spelled wrong, but armed revolution should we fail within the power of the vote this November. This republic cannot survive for 4 more years underneath this political socialist ideologue. So far, no one in the GOP has condemned that quote. And back on the presidential level, check out this exchange at a Romney town hall this week.
We have a president right now that is operating outside the structure of our Constitution. And I want to know, yeah, I do agree he should be tried for treason, but.
Well, as I'm sure you do, I happen to believe that the Constitution was not just brilliant, but probably inspired.
He should be charged with treason, which, by the way, is a capital offense. And Mitt Romney, no reaction except, I love the Constitution. The perfect opportunity for Romney to tell the extremists and potentially violent extremists to back down and cool off. And Mitt missed the moment. It's enough to make you miss John McCain, who, say what you will about him, at least had a line in this regard even he would not cross.
I can't trust Obama. I have read about him, and he's an Arab. He is not. No?
No, ma'am. He's a decent family man, citizen that I just happen to have disagreements with on fundamental issues, and that's what this campaign is all about. He's not. Thank you.
I will grant the point that in the middle of political dialogue, in the middle of heated campaigns, people say things to energize their supporters, and they tend to go too far. Where's the grown-up in the room to talk back some of these more extreme positions and some of the more dangerous positions? And I would certainly have more respect for Mitt Romney if he said, no, what are you talking treason? He may not like his views, but he's certainly the American president. Where is the leadership, and why aren't we seeing that, particularly on the right now?
The reason why you're not seeing it is what happened to the senator just last night. If you stand up to the right, they are looking to chop your head off. They certainly will primary you. They certainly will give your opponent a lot of money. And these things are scary, these comments. They shouldn't be made, particularly about the first African-American president. Security is a real issue. The Secret Service is there for a reason, for any president. And whether, I understand and I respect gun laws in our country, but I don't think that someone should be legally allowed to have a rifle or a gun at an event where the president of the United States happens to be at.
Are you comfortable with what you're seeing with some of the reaction? Obviously these are outliers, these people who say stupid things, but are you comfortable with the way the Republican Party has handled those kinds of comments in terms of not walking them back or not not disowning them?
Andrew, I really appreciate the way you introduced that, because that's my feeling exactly. By focusing on these people, by and large, you're focusing on people who really have no political power or are really on the margins even of the political movement that they're involved in. On the other hand, you have people like Bill Maher, who has an HBO show on every week. You have Cher, who who tweets and it goes to hundreds of thousands of people, using language which is just as disgusting as the language you've cherry-picked and double-standarded here to focus on Republicans.
But the comments from the left may be insulting. They're certainly not calling for violence.
And I've never heard Bill Maher say that he wants to see violence happen to someone on the right. I mean, I've heard him use some pretty foul language, but...
I'll give you one other example. Hillary Rosen, not too long ago, when she made the comments about working mothers, about Romney and Romney not working, as soon as she said that, everybody in the world on the left immediately disowned her. You had the president, the first lady, you had the Speaker of the House, you had her. I mean, everybody who had a D next to their name was like, she's not talking for us. It doesn't seem like there is that same...
Andrew, the clips you showed prove exactly the point that you're saying isn't the case, which is, yes, the mainstream leaders of the Republican Party, Mitt Romney, John McCain, were uncomfortable when confronted with this kind of language.
But only McCain actually walked it back and said, no, that's too far.
Well, I don't know. I think you yourself made the point that Mitt Romney said, I defend the Constitution. He did not embrace what that person was saying or even encourage him to continue saying it. And the last thing I want to say on this matter is we're 6 months away from the re-election of this president who has served out his term. As far as I know, nobody has seriously taken a shot at him so far. So as far as I'm concerned, all of this is just Hollywood's imagination that all the real revolutionaries and radicals out there are all clanners and white revolutionaries, and we don't have to, the left is never really a problem. It's always the white conservatives that are the ones that are depicted as being the ones who are out there in the forest waiting to start a revolution.
Andrew, if Romney won't stand up to the right now, do you think he's going to do it once he's in the White House?
I don't know. I certainly don't think he's going to over the next 6 months.